Don't be let down if something doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. You have to have money to do stuff that you want to do, stuff that even makes you happy, costs money. If your mom tells you about a friend or boyfriend and just says, you know, like, I don't know, they're just not the best person, you may not want to believe her, but sometimes she knows. My mother always knew. My mom just always knew who my fake friends were. Hello everyone, I'm Emily Rose. Welcome to my channel. I'm not the best person. I would like to be a better person, but I have changed a lot in like the last 5 years or so, and I still have a lot to learn, but I wanted to share with you some advice that I have learned along the way and thought maybe that it would help you. So if you are interested to hear my advice, have any advice to give me or anybody else, just comment down below, or if you have maybe a question and you guys want me to do another video like this, then just comment and let me know. Number 1, making plans for the future just never or doesn't always work out as planned. You can't always expect your goals to plan out the way you want them to. Don't be let down if something doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. A lot of things can come and go. You can make a plan and say, I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be focused on this, I'm gonna have this kind of lifestyle in 5 or 10 years. Just because you have it planned out doesn't mean that it's gonna work exactly the way you want. There was a lot of things that 5 years ago I wish I was doing something totally different. I wish maybe I was making money on YouTube, or maybe I would become a singer, or I would be living in California or New York or somewhere other than where I'm living at now. So it is kind of a letdown. You kind of look back on those 5 years ago and you feel like you have not done anything, you haven't accomplished anything you wanted to accomplish, and it may make you feel a little depressed, it may give you anxiety. But I'm here to tell you that I think everybody goes through it. It's something that I think everyone probably goes through with life. You think you can accomplish things, but if you don't work hard enough for them, then you're not going to accomplish them. And sometimes you just can't accomplish certain things. And this is probably one of my biggest letdowns. Like, I wish that I would have created a total different life for myself by now, but I haven't. But you know what? Maybe I'll plan it and hope for the next 5 years. Advice number 2 is, like I said in the last one, I had a 5-year plan for 5 years ago, and I haven't done anything I had planned. And so my advice to you is to try to stay positive, try not letting it get you down, try not getting depressed over stuff that you can't control. And I'm gonna tell you this, like, I don't think you shouldn't try for things if you're scared that you're let down. I do that all the time. But don't get depressed if there's a no, or if you just don't think you're doing what you wanted to do. My advice to you is keep going, keep fighting for what you want. Always stay positive. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't or can't do. Don't get depressed over things that you can't control, and just work at it. Okay, advice number 3, money. People tell you life's not about money. I don't agree and I don't disagree. Life is not all about money. You need more than just money to make you happy. But a big portion of your life is about money. You have to have money to live. You have to have money to do stuff that you want to do, stuff that even makes you happy, costs money. You have to have money for food to survive. You want to work hard to become the CEO of a company, or work hard every day for minimum pay just to buy concert tickets or anything. Or maybe you're saving up for your favorite pair of shoes. Maybe you want some Chanel earrings that you're saving up for, or a Gucci belt. If that's what makes you happy, because like of course you need love, you want to surround yourself with people you love, and if it's something that maybe it costs you money for a person that you love, or maybe it's not the right idea either. Or maybe if it costs the person you love to get that money, that might not be your right choice either. It's all up to you and your situation. And so my advice to you is that if you want to work for it and you want to make money, then that is totally your choice. If you make your life about becoming successful in money instead of wanting to get married, that's your choice. And I think either way is a good choice. So just keep that in mind, that maybe you're like me. My dream is to be independent. I want to make money and be able to live on my own and be independently living on my own without a guy's money. I want to be financially successful for myself, and I don't want to rely on a guy. I want to start my career, make a career for myself, and then I'll settle down. Number 4, jobs. Everybody tells you to go to college. You have to go to college to get certain jobs, but you also have to have experience to get certain jobs. So the lesson I've learned or heard from people and just know of, so my advice to you, so it's all depending up to you. You have the money to go to college, you want to go to college, you can go to college. You can get some jobs without even going to college. But the main thing is I have heard, and I know a lot of people that go to college, get a job, but then they still can't even get a job for what they went to college for, because they want experience too. They want somebody that has experience, and I feel like that's a little unfair for people. If you go to college for something, then I think when you're in college, the college should either help or give you advice on how to get a job or get an internship within what you're going to college for. So then you have that experience for when you get out of college, and so then you have the college degree and you have the experience, so you can get that job and get your dream job that you went to college for, instead of wasting money. And some people go in debt just to go to college, and then they still can't even do what they wanted to do. And I will tell you, I work for just your regular paying kind of job, but I will say that working at restaurants, grocery stores, they're all not worth it. They all have something that you probably more than likely are not gonna like about it. That's just the bad part. And most of the time you don't get paid enough for what they want you to do, or just to deal with everything. And I feel like that's the problem with the world. A lot of people, including myself, and they can't go out and live on their own. They can't buy an apartment or a house or rent an apartment because they don't have the money to, because they're only making so much a month, and then like where they live is like $1,000 is the cheapest for rent, and you want to be in a nice area. So it's hard because a lot of people don't realize that you have your utilities, you have your rent, you have maybe a car payment, you have your insurance to pay. It's just a lot. A lot of people may say that our generation has it easy. I don't think we do. Everything's going up, and most of the time there's nothing you can do about it. If you want to live out on your own, you might have to have a group of people or friends maybe that will split the rent with you. And you know, for people like me, that's hard to do when you don't have any friends to do that with. Whatever small job you can find, you more than likely will not get paid very well. I'll tell you this, most of the time they start you out at minimum wage, or maybe just $1 extra, even if you do have experience in, like, you've worked in a restaurant before and you go to a new restaurant. Half the time they don't even care that you worked somewhere else before. They don't go by that. They may give you $1 more than minimum wage, but a lot of the times they give you minimum wage. And let me tell you, some places, the people that are in charge of some places, or the customers, or even just the employees, you can get treated like shit. I didn't really realize that from where I worked. When I was younger, my parents owned a grocery store, and so I worked for them, and I knew how to work hard for my money, because of course that's why I worked. If I wanted a car, I had to pay the payments, anything like that. And so, and it was a cool thing. But my parents don't own a grocery store anymore, and now I've worked in a few different places, and it's just not the same. A lot of people don't have respect for anybody. You may think that they should, and they probably should, but a lot of the times I've come across quite a few times where there's a lot of favoritism nowadays in working, and a lot of people that work hard, they don't get recognized for it. They just don't. Number 5, friends. It's nice to have friends. You can go out and do things with your friends, or if you need someone to talk to or need someone to help you give advice on something, then it's good to have a friend to talk to. But here is the lesson I had to learn, so here's the advice I'm giving to you on friends. You have to watch your back. You never know who your real friends are. They might be fake, they might be two-faced, they may not just have the best intentions, or they might just use you. You just have to be careful who you tell stuff to. Personally, it just might bite you in the ass. And even this goes for like anybody, even if you've had a friend for years. You never know. There might come a time where they might talk shit behind your back. They might tell you something personal to someone else. And you just have to watch out. And then the other advice I'd like to give you is, if your mom tells you about a friend or boyfriend and just says, you know, like, I don't know, they're just not the best person, you may not want to believe her, but sometimes she knows. My mother always knew. My mom just always knew who my fake friends were. Or just if They didn't have the best intentions. So maybe if your mom gives good advice, maybe just listen a little closely to her. And if she does tell you that, just watch with caution at who you're talking to, because they might be just using you. Okay, so this one I probably should have made first, because this is probably the biggest advice I can give to you, or at least what I think. Number 6, family. Blood doesn't make you family. It just means you're related. Blood doesn't make you family. Is just because they're family doesn't mean they won't hurt you. Just because they're family doesn't mean you can always trust them either. Just because they're family doesn't mean they won't use you. Just because they're your family doesn't mean that they won't judge you. Family can always hurt you. And by hurt, I mean they can hurt your feelings, and you might just think, they're my family, so you just take it. But everybody has a certain breaking point, because then all of a sudden you say something and you hurt their feelings, they will let you have it. They can treat you like shit just like anybody else. They can treat you without any respect because you hurt their feelings. But yet they won't care if they hurt yours. That's something that I know firsthand about. And you can't always trust family. And they can do the dirtiest things to you. They can say the nastiest things about you. They can even be two-faced just like your friends. And so just watch out that family member that you're telling anything to. If you don't want certain people to know it, then maybe don't tell them, because you'll know and you'll find out who in your family you can't trust. Maybe it's not even anybody. Maybe you don't want to tell them anything about your life. That's your choice. And just because they're family, they will use you. Family uses you. They may ask you for money. That might be the only time that they contact you. And let me tell you, family are probably the judgiest people you'll know. I know a lot of people in my family that have judged me. They may judge your lifestyle, they may judge your life choices, they may judge who you're with, who you're marrying. Number 7, dating. Most of the time, dating anymore is not dating. They don't take you out. They don't ask you out. So my advice to you is, if a guy asks you out on a date, make sure it's going out. And what I mean by this is, if they're inviting you to their house, then it's more than likely a booty call. It's not an actual date. They're just wanting something from you. My other advice is, if you fuck them on the first date, more than likely they won't call or contact you, or they won't contact you again, or they may only contact you when they want something from you and they can't get it from someone else. And so by this I mean is, in our generation, the worst thing that happened to the dating world is phones. Guys or girls have access to anyone. Maybe you're not available. Well, maybe there's another girl available. They'll go hang out with them. I'm not saying all guys are like this, but it's what I've come across and I've heard, and I've had friends or family go through this. It's just how some guys think. It's their mind. It's the world we live in. A lot of them are douchebags. They only want one thing from you. And I guess if you only want one thing from them, that's perfectly fine. But if you're a hopeless romantic, be careful who you have around you, who you go out with. They take you out on a date, you think it goes well, you may even kiss them, and then they just leave. They never contact you again. Or let's say you even get started on talking to someone and you like them and you talk, and you can talk for weeks or maybe a month before you even, you know, decide to actually hang out. And then all of a sudden, they just stop talking to you. You just never know these days. No matter who it is, work, friends, family, a guy that you like, your crush, your boyfriend, your husband, you can always get treated like shit by anybody in this world. So my advice to you is always watch for the red flags. If he doesn't want to take you out and about, doesn't want to do anything with you, that's a red flag. Number 8 goes along with the last advice that I gave you. Men. Always read them. Always get to know them. And don't be blind on the red flags. If there's an alert going off and you think that that's not right, that he says something, does something, then get the hell away from him. He's probably not worth it. My advice to you is never be blinded by good looks. Now I'm talking to all the teenage girlies out there too. Maybe even if you're in your 20s. Maybe you just haven't had the experience, or like me, I watched my sister go through a lot of it. And that makes me, nope, makes me not even want to deal with it. Don't be blinded by his charm either. He might not even be good looking. He might just be saying the right things. And if you think it's too good to be true, or you kind of get that feeling that maybe he's lying, it's probably a red flag, and your gut is telling you, don't do it, get away from him. Then you might want to just get away from him. Always know how to read the situation. If you are in a situation and you're uncomfortable, get out of it. Don't even stay. I don't care what he looks like. He could be Brad Pitt for all I care, or Tom Cruise. Just get away from him if you're uncomfortable in the situation. You want to be comfortable with a guy, no matter what, or a girl. Always know how to read his actions and his intentions. Keep your guard up and always know your boundaries. Maybe you have a deal with yourself to not sleep with a guy on the first night, or not to even give him a kiss on the first night. He's trying to get you to step out of those boundaries. Respect yourself, because he's not respecting you, so that's a red flag right there. I will tell you that. Never, ever let a man manipulate you. Always try to be on your game. Always try to watch the situation, read it, read what he's saying, feel what he's saying, and just feel the situation all around. Don't let him manipulate you or make you think that you're stupid, or don't ever act stupid for a man. So my biggest advice for that is to just be vigilant to who you're giving your heart to, who you're pouring your thoughts to, giving anything to. Just be careful. Number 9, stay true to you. I cannot tell you this enough. I could probably sit here and make a whole video about this, because I've been guilty of trying to be somebody else. My advice to you, don't listen to others. If you like something, don't stop liking it just because somebody else says it's not cool. Don't try to fit in or be someone you're not. Because even if you try to fit in, and you try to be that person that maybe you idolize or that is popular, once you become that person, you may not even be happy with yourself. Don't care what anyone thinks. More than likely, they're a shitty person. Don't care if someone says you're not good enough for this, or says you're fat, or says anything rude. Don't listen to them. Just don't listen to them. And I know it's hard, because trust me, I have before. I listened to them and I took a lot of things personally, and anything everybody's criticized about me. And even now, I have those moments that if somebody says something and it's my weakness, or it's something that I don't even like about myself, then it's gonna hit hard. You're gonna feel like shit. And it's okay too, because you're human. It's a normal reaction. But don't dwell on it. Get over it. And just tell yourself that it doesn't matter what they think. Learn to love yourself. If you like something or someone, then own it. Don't let anyone take it away from you. Don't let anybody take away what makes you happy. If it makes you happy, who cares what everybody else thinks? So that is my biggest advice to you for staying true to yourself. That you like something, or because you don't like something that they like, it's okay. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have different likes. Nobody's gonna like everything the same, no matter what. My last and final advice. Number 10. Be a nice person. Don't hate on another girl for how she's dressed or how she looks. Women should hype up other women. Because I know for a fact that you've gone through that stage where you thought to yourself that you go out of the house, you think you're looking fire, and then you see people looking at you, and then you think, are they looking at me because they think that I shouldn't wear this? Or maybe I'm not skinny enough to wear this, or maybe I don't look good this way, or maybe they just have some insecurities about themselves, and you're over there and you're pointing it out. You wouldn't like someone doing that to you. That would make you feel bad. So you saying that about somebody else, that should make you feel bad too. Don't judge anyone. Unless you're being judged, then go ahead, judge them back. You tell them how it is. But don't ever judge a book by its cover. Maybe people will say, you know, not to get in that relationship, not to deal with that person or that friend, or maybe they're a bad person. Don't ever judge them just because somebody else said it. It may not even be true. Be your own judge of character. And I can't say this enough, because I see a lot of people that are this way nowadays. Respect your elders. That's all I gotta say. Respect your elders, because you may think like, you know, just anything that's mean and rude. Respect them, because that's gonna be you one day, whether you like it or not. Even if you get Botox, I personally think sometimes that Botox even makes people look worse once they get older. So, just saying, respect the people that need to be respected. Always smile, or say something nice, or maybe just even ask somebody how their day is going, because it may just make their day. Just doing one little nice thing, it might just make their day. It might make them happy. And just imagine if that was you. If someone made you feel good about yourself, or someone talked to you when you were feeling lonely or whatever, and you like that, then that's doing something good for somebody else. If you would like it if somebody done it to you, then pass it on and do it to somebody else. And last but not least, I cannot understand people, And I literally, I know this is bad to say, but I hate people that are like this. But never judge anybody by their color. We're all God's children. We're all God's creations. That's all I gotta say, is there should be no racism. Everybody deserves love. And I think that's how it should be. Nobody should ever judge anybody by that. Us white people, we can be horrible humans. We can be anything. So don't ever judge anybody by somebody else, or just because their color is the same as somebody else. Don't even. You should be colorblind when it comes to that. I think 100% that any color, any race, any religion, anywhere around the world deserves respect and love and your support. We should love one another. And that's my biggest pet peeve, is I hate how people judge people by that. They don't deserve it. No matter what, respect them. Talk to them like any other person, because they're all people. Alright, I'd like to thank you guys if you made it this far and watched my whole video. And I hope none of this offended you. I'm not putting it out there to offend anyone. It's just personally my advice and the lessons I've learned in my life, and just giving you advice to be a better person and try to make the choices of doing the better thing or the right thing. But I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you like these videos, then please like and subscribe. Maybe comment, give me ideas or questions about anything else that you maybe want my advice on. Like I said, I'm still learning a lot of things myself, but maybe it's just something that I have a little bit of a different perspective on, and I can help you through something.